The beautiful thing about what we did is we had thousands of lights. We were all lights in our struggle, and we lit up this region beautifully. So, the main feeling I have today is one of immense gratitude. Gratitude to all of you who threw yourselves into our campaign to liberate our region from the invasive gas field that was mapped out for us. And I particularly want to thank the early resistance, because in the first part of the campaign it's very, very hard. And so we had the people at Nimbin and Kyogle, your group, Sledge, marking, I think it was your group that marked out the Lion's Way. It was going to be the only way they could get the gas out of the region. So in the first instance, the whole Lion's Way was marked up with lock the gate signs, and fine piece of early work there. The women in Keerong Valley, just near where I live, who noticed the gas rig coming into the Keerong Valley and thought, what the hell is this? And they started the Keerong Gas Squad. And that was in May 2010. So that was hard work. That was hard going in the early days. But, after a while we had 20 action groups from the Clarence group right up to the north of our region, and involving casino and everywhere. And these action groups were just the engines of our campaign, because in them people just rolled up their sleeves and they just worked their asses off for years, doing all the campaign work, and they collaborated in an alliance that we called Gas Fuel Free Northern Rivers. And that was our alliance that was kind of that coordinated all these autonomous action groups. And a lovely thing that these groups did was that they helped each other out when they needed help. So there was an action group at Casino, and the other groups in Lismore and other places, Kyogle, would really lend a hand to those groups with what they were trying to do. And of course the knitting nanas. How could we forget the knitting nanas, who brought their special flair and their cheek, their decorations of Thomas George's office every Thursday, which did bring a smile to a lot of people's faces. I'd like to thank, I feel a lot of gratitude for Lock the Gate, for Drew Hutton, who started it, for Carmel Flint, who is Boudica Cerise's sister. A lot of people wouldn't know that, but she behind the scenes. You didn't have to poke too far to find Carmel Flint doing some pretty amazing stuff for us. The mayors, the gratitude to the mayors and the councillors, who really threw their support in and led from the front. The musicians. I mean, the musicians that we have, how thankful we are to them. Luke Vasella writing those beautiful songs, but all the musicians. And the musicians who came to Gate A up there, from the Blues Fest, Xavier Rudd, all of those, John Butler, numerous of them. The audio-visual people, thank you to the filmmakers, the videographers, the photographers. Thank you all. And they had a bus up there at the camp, at Camp Liberty. There was a special bus that the AV team used for their extraordinary productions. Gratitude for everybody who gathered in the intelligence over that 5 years. Who provided untold hours of background coordination, fundraising, making the signs in the Keerong Hall. They had a printing press and they were pumping out the Lock the Gate signs in the Keerong Hall, putting signs everywhere. The massive events, the huge events, and all the planning that went into them. 5,000 people at Murwillumbah. I think Lismore put on 7,000 people, not once but twice. Thank you to all the people who organised those things and came to them. Thank you to those who provided training, and here I'm singling out Aidan Ricketts and Simon Clough. because that started very early on, providing training in nonviolent direct action in little country halls around our region. And I think, and it wasn't just for training in, the pointy end of civil disobedience, but it was how campaigns and social movements work. I think it was tremendously important